A billionaire fashion mogul. 57 victims. 30 years of darkness. Peter Nygard built an empire dressing women around the world. But behind those designer labels was a predator operating in plain sight. How did one of fashion's most powerful men escape justice for 3 decades? And what finally brought him down? The answer will disturb you. Peter Nygard wasn't just any fashion designer. He was a self-made billionaire who built Nygard International into a $300 million empire. His clothes hung in department stores across North America. Celebrities attended his legendary parties. But here's what nobody knew. While Nygard was photographed with the rich and famous, survivors say he was running something far darker behind closed doors. A system so calculated, so protected, that it would take decades to expose. And the location where it allegedly happened? A private paradise that locals called Nygard Cave. What went on inside those walls would eventually shock prosecutors and jurors alike. The complaints started quietly. Women came forward with disturbing allegations. But Nygard had resources most defendants could only dream of. Lawyers. Influence. Money to bury problems. For years, accusations seemed to vanish. Witnesses felt silenced. Investigations stalled. But something changed in 2019. The FBI started listening. And when agents began connecting the dots, they realized this wasn't about one victim or two. They were looking at a pattern spanning continents and decades. Multiple women. Similar stories. The same nightmare repeated over and over. If you're starting to see how deep this goes, that like button tells me to keep digging into cases like this. Now here's where this case takes a bizarre turn. Pause 2's, Nygard wasn't just accused of crimes against women. Investigators discovered he was obsessed with something else entirely. Stem cells. He reportedly believed that stem cell treatments could make him live forever. And according to court documents, this obsession drove increasingly desperate behavior. He allegedly sought younger and younger victims, convinced their youth held the key to his immortality. Think about that for a second. A man with unlimited resources, believing he could cheat death itself. This wasn't just criminal behavior. This was delusion backed by billions. The survivors who came forward risked everything. These were women who had been silenced for years, sometimes decades. Some were employees. Others were lured to Nygard K with promises of modeling careers. They described a systematic operation. Victims allegedly recruited by staff members. Alcohol and drugs used to lower defenses. A compound designed with no easy escape. And when women tried to speak out, they faced legal threats, intimidation, and a billionaire's army of attorneys. But despite the fear, survivors kept coming forward. By the time prosecutors built their case, they had testimony from dozens of women. And their stories painted a picture of a predator who believed he was untouchable. But here's what prosecutors discovered that changed everything. Music shift, Nygard didn't just operate in the Bahamas. His alleged crime stretched across borders. Canada. The United States. The Caribbean. Multiple jurisdictions. Multiple victims. And suddenly, this wasn't just one country's problem. It became an international case. In February 2020, the FBI raided Nygard's New York headquarters. Agents seized computers, documents, and evidence of a criminal network that allegedly operated for over 3 decades. The man who once rubbed shoulders with celebrities was now facing charges that could put him away forever. And this is only halfway through the story. Subscribe now because what happens in the courtroom is even more shocking. The trial proceedings revealed testimony that left even veteran prosecutors disturbed. One by one, survivors took the stand. They described similar patterns. Similar manipulation. Similar trauma. Defense attorneys argued the encounters were consensual. But prosecutors presented Evidence of a calculated system designed to exploit vulnerable women. Former employees testified about their roles. Documents showed payments and cover-ups. And throughout it all, Nygard maintained his innocence. He claimed he was the victim of a conspiracy. Drop your prediction in the comments now. Did you think this billionaire would actually face consequences? Because what the jury decided might surprise you. In November 2023, the verdict came. Guilty. Peter Nygard was convicted on 4 counts of sexual assault. The fashion mogul who once seemed untouchable was finally held accountable. But the legal reckoning wasn't over. He still faced charges in multiple jurisdictions. More trials. More victims coming forward. And in 2024, he was convicted again. The sentences kept adding up. This man who built an empire, who threw parties with celebrities, who believed he could live forever through stem cells, was now spending his remaining years behind bars. Justice, after 3 decades, had finally arrived. The survivors who risked everything to speak had won. The Peter Nygard case teaches us something crucial about power and accountability. For 30 years, wealth and influence created a shield. Victims were silenced. Investigations stalled. Justice seemed impossible. But eventually, the truth caught up. It always does. The survivors who came forward didn't just win their case. They proved that no amount of money can buy permanent immunity. Today, Nygard sits in prison, his empire crumbling, his legacy destroyed. And his victims? They finally have the closure they fought decades to achieve. Some cases take years. Some take generations. But this one proves that justice, however delayed, can still arrive. The Nygard case stands as proof that survivors can bring down even the most powerful predators. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to see that justice is possible. What other cases should we investigate next? Drop your suggestions in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more stories where the guilty finally face judgment.